Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, dependent, of course, on when and where you are joining us from. This is a day in the life of an SDR leader brought to you by SDR leaders of EMEA. In this session, we're going to be speaking to various SDR leaders about their role, how they get the best out of their teams and their tech stack, as well as any trends that they're witnessing that may influence the above. Now, today we are joined by Baptiste Paulet, BDR manager EMEA at MotorK and member turned ambassador at SDR Leaders of EMEA. Baptiste, thank you very much for joining me today. Can you please introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit more?
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much, Jordan. I'm pleased to do this for SDR Leaders of EMEA. So I'm Baptiste, I'm 33, French, born and raised in Paris. Outside of work, because that is very much so important in my life. I'm about arts and sports, everything regarding museums, exhibit theaters, monuments, especially since we had the Olympics. It was perfect mix between sports and culture. I come from a legal background. So I was a junior lawyer between firms and companies, and moved into business after doing an MBA in my studies. And I started to grind up from the BDR world. So I started working in the UK, doing like a BDR role in a company who was an intermediary for IT companies such as Cisco, Dell, HP. So we did really hard cold, ice cold prospecting, calling CDOs all day. And then I became SDR, senior SDR, team lead SDR in different Series B SaaS companies. And now BDR manager EMEA for MotorK, which is a verticalized SaaS scale-up that digitize automotive industry.
That's fantastic. Yeah, the Olympics have been brilliant so far. I guess, which is your favorite museum in Paris?
For sure, the Louvre, because it covers all eras, all cultures, and all influences between the Renaissance, between the ancient Egypt, favorite one. But Musée d'Orsay is actually very good. So feel free to join.
Yeah, I was going to say Musée d'Orsay is perhaps my favorite. I've also been recommended Musée de Montmartre. Yet to go. Apparently, it's quite a small, quaint museum, but I've heard great things.
Yep, indeed it is.
Brilliant. So I'd love to know a little bit more about your journey, particularly from during that transition between being an individual contributor and moving into a people leader sort of role.
So it is important. So when you are an IC, you can be a top performer, but it never ensures you to become manager or become people leader. You can be a leader without being a manager. And that's where my journey started. From sports, when I acted as a coach or sparring partner, I always tried to help the young talents I played with to improve themselves with pieces of advice, with experience sharing. And in the companies that I worked for as a BDR or an SDR, depending on the definition that you give, I was doing the work, but I really wanted more. And you had the standard SDR to AE career path or SDR to key account management career path because they want to go working with customer success or customers mostly. But for me, it was all about the prospecting, the new business, the new people I wanted to talk to. And I just wanted a high level for BDR. So actually, I went from IC to people leader by training myself. Like, how can I achieve this? So I did it through connections, through networks. At the time, it was SDR Nation, which was a US network with a lot of people who were managers, team leaders, who were also ICs. And I talked to a lot of them. And I will need to to thank a lot some that became my friends during this journey and help them really grind my work. So after that, I did the work really, and it has also to go with the culture of the company. Does your company have what it takes to promote you as a leader, as a manager? Is there a need? Is there a team? And can you grow in that role? What I said was, I am committed to do what I need to do for my company, but it doesn't, and I will respect every time the company journey, but the company journey cannot stop me from evolving. So that's where I became a manager somewhere else. And I need to thank the chief sales officer at SNEF, Shift at the time, Benjamin Renard, and one of my friends, Robin Zagorski, who was the top headhunter I knew, because they took a chance on me. So it was a very thorough hiring process. We had, 6 interviews, but it was very critical role for them. So I really liked it. I liked the culture, and that's why I joined it. And funny story is that my first management experience was like 8, 9, and up until 13 direct reports, which was a bit too much at the time, but it was incredible, and I learned a lot. So my advice here is for someone who is a top performer to become a people leader is know if you can do it at your company, know what you need to do to master in order to get there, and when. So basically try to do a discovery and qualify your chance to become that people leader, and then do what you need to do in order to get that role.
Yeah, that's really nicely summarized. And I think as well, that community piece is so important, the networking, but also, I guess, trying to find those opportunities where you can almost mentor other people in your team to give you that experience. Would you recommend that?
Completely. One of the things that is true at the moment is when you want to evolve, you need to show strength. And you need to show that you know your stuff, and you come with more answers, that you come with questions and interrogation. And therefore, people often see asking for help or saying that I don't know for a weakness. And if you can't do it, or if you're not comfortable enough to do it within your company, just do it outside. And networking and the networks that existed, CR Nation at the time, now as your leaders of the EMEA, those are the best places, because 1, you're not going to be judged. 2, you're going to meet people that face the same issues, struggles, interrogations as you, and also you will get the answers. So that was really something that made a difference.
So you mentioned the value that comes from the network. You've also mentioned some great leaders that you've had that helped you throughout that transitionary period. Were there any key pieces of advice that you were given that have really helped you make that step to becoming a leader?
Yeah, absolutely. When I reflect back, the most important thing is that you don't need to be a manager to start leading people. So just when you do your work, share materials, share ideas, and people will notice, and people will even ask you for your opinion or your help in the future. And the good management team in the organization will see that too. So you can learn by doing. Then one of my first piece of advice would be start early. Like, there is no time or place to start. The best moment is when you feel ready, and to feel ready, you need to learn and to teach yourself. So what I was taught was be organized. That's the most important part. You don't think one way, you don't think on an individual level anymore. You need to think team-wise. And therefore, my first boss told me, okay, are you organized? I thought I was, and then I was not. So he showed me the Eisenhower matrix. He showed me the Pareto's law. He showed me how to organize myself in terms of agenda, Gmail, Slack, in a way that I thought I was organized, but really I wasn't. So learn, ask, and really be organized, because you are now managing a team and not one person. The second part is be very, very focused on hiring the right people with the right mindset and the cultural alignment. People think that you have the run part and the build part in the management. It's true. But in order to have the run part, you need to start from building the team. And building the team is the most important part, especially with the people with the right mindset. And you need to have a very thorough process of selection with the right people. So work with HR, work with talent acquisition, whoever else, but you need to be very clear on what you do. For me, I do a role play of a skill test, management fit, and I do it with salespeople so that we know what we want, what we expect, and how the person will be better in the future. After the hiring part, one of the important part are metrics. Sales is math, and you need to understand that metrics don't lie. They have to be interpreted, but the metrics don't lie. So when you're not sure about something, rely on the metrics, rely on the numbers, and understand what is there. You've been a top performer at the job, at an SDR or BDR job, so you should know what are the good metrics, what are the bad metrics, and you should know also how you can interpret those metrics for the benefit of your team. One other advice I would share is meet other people, meet CS team, meet sales team, meet ops team, and understand what do they expect from your SDR, BDR team, because it's good to have your own opinion, your own certainties, your own mindset, but feel free to engage with other teams to know what do they expect, how do they see it, and how you can improve, because other people's feedback are very key for you to grow and your team to grow. The last one is that for me was both an advice and an assignment, but do a report of astonishment, especially if you change company, if you become a leader in another company. A report of astonishment is after a 30-day period, you do a written report for management, for the people who work with you. And it's about observation of what you've seen, what you think was good, what you think they could improve, what they should keep, what they should drop, and what they don't do and that they should do in order to have those best practices. This really engaged the 3 people that was in my company back in those days in order for us to see, okay, what should we prioritize and how we can be better together. Because at the end, the SDR and BDR team serves the sales or business purpose, which serves the company purpose.
Yeah, such a thorough answer there. And I think it's all about that clarity over each of the steps, as you mentioned, with the understanding of how you want to grow the team, understanding of the metrics and how that plays out, not just within business development, but also across the rest of the organization. How is that passing on to sales? How many of those are converting, and what experience or value is that providing with the customer success team? And that sort of focus gives a lot more of a holistic view and breeds a lot better of a buyer experience as well. And then the report of aspiration, that's fantastic there. And on that piece of development, do you have any go-to resources when trying to provide professional development to your team, when coaching your team?
Yeah, completely. So I have less than some others. I would recommend Elric Legloire, one of my friend and fellow ambassador at SDR Leader of EMEA blog post, because he has a ton of resources online and books that he recommends. But for me, the 2 that did the work were the Sales Development Playbook by Trish Bertuzzi and the Fanatical Prospective by Jeb Blunt. So those were for books and online materials. I like John Barrow's Sales Better. I think it's very qualitative and you have a lot of content. And for me, what did the most work on development was the one-to-one sessions with coaches who became friends during SDR Nation. The first network I worked with, I'm thinking mostly about Navid Shahabadi, who is the Director of Business Development for SAP Canada, Dylan Tucker, Graham Taylor, Frasier, those people. So shout out to them. And now it's SDR leaders of the EMEA. So one-to-one, we can benefit from internally.
That's brilliant. And are there any trends that you're seeing in the market? Anything coming out that is exciting you at the moment?
Yeah, completely. So first, at the company level, especially in sales, for me, what is the most important right now is the need for pipeline. Every company is telling their sales team, we need more pipeline to reach quota. And therefore, hence the need for the SDR and BDR team. We've never been more important within an organization since we need pipeline. The positive consequence about the situation is also the difficulty of the job, because right now they have asked salespeople to do their own prospecting. We need AEs to start prospecting. We need sales to deliver pipeline. We need sales to create their own opportunities. We've all heard that. But it doesn't mean success automatically. It's just not because you asked for it that it will be done. And that is very interesting because it shows the job isn't easy. And therefore, BDRs, SDRs will get more recognition for it. And that's all for the best. The third one is that the BDR teams are more and more involved with the go-to-market strategy. So maybe I'm really lucky to work with a very insightful and smart CRO, Joe Sanchez, but really it makes a big difference. It's way more impactful to the job by building it rather than just hearing how many meetings they need and we should deliver. Meetings, opportunities, and of course, revenue. And the fourth one, the ultimate one, which is maybe the most down to earth logic right now, is the fact that mass sequence, automated sequences, the phase is over, and most people will come back to the heart of the job, which is human interactions, being calls or LinkedIn. But enough with the 50-step sequence and the 46 emails automated. So it's good to have this human interaction back, and it's going to be for a while, being 2024, 2025 and onwards. So those are the trends I'm excited about.
I love that. I absolutely love that. It's back to the authenticity. And as well, it sounds like the focus is more on a unified go-to-market function. So I would assume that's impacting the way that you're working with your team, encouraging them to be more involved with sales, be more involved with CS as well, to find out what value is actually being delivered to clients.
Yeah, completely. People have to adapt when facing challenges. So that's important.
I love that. Now, the last question from me was just surrounding any tools that have significantly improved your team's efficiency or performance.
So you have a lot of tools which exist nowadays that are very good. Data enrichment, sales engagement platform, recording, scrapping, note takers. Pick one among those and you will improve your efficiency, you will improve your performance. Recording, for example, what I really believe is that in the future, the winners will be active listeners. We have a culture of the instant right now, a society of consumption, but you can't act like that with your prospects. So having coaching by listening to your team makes a real difference. There are a lot of tools that exist for that. We have one of our own, which is Gong, but I know you have Praise, you have Mojo, you have many that are very good regarding recording devices, and those will make a difference within the BDR team in terms of level. I really think that you have also AI SDRs that will help in the future, not undermine us, just help the good one and maybe help remove some of the really bad one that only do stuff without quality. But to be honest, to end it up, I would say that even though those tools are very, very good, nothing compares with the CRM. Too many people miss or forget the point of having clean data in the CRM. So you have many gems. I've found so many when I was an SDR or BDR. So I say that going all out with the new tech is good, but make sure that the core of the sales stack is the first one boosting performance and efficiency.
Yeah, really, really nicely summarized. I think the piece on the CRM, it brings to mind the phrase, what looks like frustration is actually often lack of clarity. And by having that clean data within the CRM, it can give you the clarity over process. It can, as you said, bring to light these gems of opportunities. And then on the AI piece, I completely agree. I think it's the SDR is not going to be replaced, but going to be enabled by AI. It's just where you draw that line. So in my mind, anything that's customer facing, that's me, my responsibility. Can't use AI. Where AI really does work is during that research process. Maybe use it to brainstorm ideas on, pain points and how I can bring to market this message. So that's fantastic.
Completely. But it's the same discussion and false debate that we had 5 years ago when the first Outreach, Sales Loft, and other SCP came really strong in Europe. They said, wow, it's going to replace the SDRs. You won't need SDRs, BDRs anymore. You just have the sales engagement platform that will do it for you. And then you have the sales pick up the opportunities, which has never been more wrong than ever, because right now, those are the same people that will say, yeah, stop doing mass sequencing and just go back to calling people and talk to them and talk to your prospect. So in the future, AI will enable the best people. So that's a firm belief on my end.
Baptiste, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me today. If anyone does want to reach out, I guess it's either LinkedIn or the community that's the best place to find you.
Yeah, completely. LinkedIn is the best one. So my profile is completely open. BDR manager at EMEA MotorK. You will find me there. And yeah, for those who are SDR leaders of EMEA that want to meet me, of course, the community is the best place to find me. I'm always available. So yeah, for sure, happy to chat with everyone.
Fantastic. Thank you, Baptiste. And to everyone listening, until next time.